Fuck it. Whatever, never mind. Hello. Today I'm going to try something slightly different to normal, which is going to be, well, it's the end of the year. I don't want to start this new section on this AURORA deep dive just yet. So what am I going to do instead? I'm going to try and just make an AURORA track. No, I'm not AURORA, nor do I claim to be. So I can't do that. But what I can do is take all that information that we have been gleaning from listening to so much bloody AURORA and put it into actually making some music, which in the end should be the purpose of it. Okay, it should be the purpose. I was just sat on my knees and now I'm not. That's why I'm lower. Should be the purpose, right? We should be learning this so to put it in something, whether that be prose or whether it be a book or whether it be actually music like this. That's what we want. Even a film, you know, you could put something in a film where some dashing individual just can't stop talking about the structural ingenuity of soulless creatures or something like that. That would make quite a nice film, I reckon. I would go and see it. Might make me feel represented in the arts. Whatever. Yeah, so I thought we would have a go at this. Now, this is going to be a little bit different, and as such we have a different setup of visuals which I have forgotten to load up. Give me a minute. We're not going to be on Cobras, we are going to be on Cakewalk, another alternative service, but this one for writing music. Let me show you. It's
Something went wrong. Please try again.
Wow. I have no idea where that even... Oh, it came from the iPad that I have my feet on. That makes sense. Sorry, iPad. Scary. When you think there's a device that you actually don't control listening in on what you've said. Anyway, not that I control it, but here we are. Cakewalk on the side. Musical bingo on the other side. I have done this with the Cakewalk window, so it is somewhat shrunken and may look a little weird, but I'll at least get rid of that side for you. In fact, for now, I think we can probably get rid of the other side too. So we're gonna make the backing today. We're gonna make the backing today, and we're gonna put in some vocals next week. That's the plan, at least. But before we embark on our journey, we should probably decide the structure of the song. So I'm gonna put in some markers. Intro for the beginning. It's gonna be 4 bars long. That sounds about right. If you happen to be watching and have any genius ideas about the structure of this, please do say, or any other things to do with the composition. I'll be happy to try and implement them. verse comes after that. That's definitely what normally happens. 4 bars might be a little short for this, but whatever. We're gonna have 4 bars at least to start with, and then we're gonna have an 8-bar verse. Do we have 2? Depends what tempo we're going at, really. I think we can probably take it a little slower. So maybe let's go for something like 90 beats per minute, something like that. So we're already at 32 seconds by this point, so I think that's probably the point to put in a pre-chorus. And the pre-chorus could sound quite like the verse anyway, so no need to feel too strange about that. Let's make that 8 bars too. And then into a chorus. We're not going to be doing anything fancy this time. In fact, let's say chorus 1. Can we change that there? No, of course not. How do we change that? Maybe we go like that. No, that's just allowing me to make another marker in exactly the same place. Do we have to really get up the bleeding... hang on. They are there. Can we just... No, we can't. How do we change a marker? This is tragic that this has come up already. It's somewhere over here, isn't it? Sound of sounds, notes. No. That's disappointing. Okay, well, sod it. They're called intro, verse, pre-chorus, and chorus 1. Chorus 1 I think can be that long. Yeah, 8 bars too. But then I think let's have a little interlude on the end there. Let's call it interlude 1 in case we decide to make another one. And that'll just be like 2 bars. Sure. And then we will go into verse 2, or the verse part 2 anyway. And then again, 8 bars sounds good. Then maybe we could have a shorter pre-chorus too, like has occasionally come up in Aurora songs. I wouldn't say it's indicative of her style or anything, but it's certainly not against the rules. And then and it just adds something slightly exciting to the middle place where normally things are very predictable. Then we can have 8 bars of chorus. It's always good, by the way, to get your structure, get your left brain stuff out of the way before your right brain creativity takes over. Just so that you don't end up just massively getting in the deep end on things you've never thought about before. So after chorus 2, I think, is when we generally have a bit of a hook, isn't it? Bit of a wordless hook. So that's what we're going to have this time. Another 8 bars. So we're up to 234 already, which is sizable actually. So I'm not gonna have too long a bridge, but let's definitely have a bridge here. Let's make it 8 bars again, nothing wrong with 8 bars. And then at the more or less the 3-minute mark, we're going to have our coda chorus, which probably is worth having about 16 bars worth of. We could probably have... Oh, are we running out of space? I didn't know we could do that in Cakewalk. No, there we go, that's fine. 16 bars worth, and we can have various things going on there. I don't want to have that shut down straight from the beginning. So that's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So we're talking about there. And at the end there we want to have a brief version of it with solo voices before the end. Okay, and there, yeah, let's just say that's like 4 bars long. And then after that it will just be like fades and things. So that's fun, and by this point we should definitely have finished, which is the amazingly 4-minute mark. As if I'd planned it. I guess it's 90 bars at 90 beats per minute, and there's 4 beats in each bar, so that does make sense that it would be exactly 4 minutes. Cool. And well, now we've done that, let's get rid of these tracks. So I don't know why, but I can't seem to do much with the tracks that are suggested by cobas. I don't really understand why when I load up a document I struggle to actually use the ones that it has, but nonetheless we can still make sounds in here quite easily by introducing new software instruments. And it's not just that they're audio tracks and I'm looking for MIDI tracks. Don't worry, I had thought of that. I struggle to make the audio tracks work as well, but it's probably still some stupidity that I have encountered and been unable to deal with. So I don't have the vastest amount of things on here. This is not actually my main production hub anyway, but I do have this quite nice free version of a drum thing here. I think drums definitely are going to be useful. Whether or not this is actually the one that we want is another matter, but we'll get it loading up. Yeah, various different sounds that we'll be able to get through that. Let's also get, so I've got this document up here to remind us that we want a choir. These were just the last things that were on. I think we're going to struggle to do lightning sounds. Oh, and yeah, in fact, yeah, there are a lot of things we're not going to do on this two-part bridge for one. Interesting. Quite interesting. Yeah. If I'd looked at this beforehand, I might have made different suggestions. Well, we're just gonna send that off to the side, and then whee! Oh no! Oh no! Ah, yes, that's more like it. Yeah. Actually, how about I go? I have no idea what was the right size now, but that looks more or less right. How about I go along the top champion, and then we. This is awful. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to remain up there. This is totally unimportant stuff. Just distracting myself. Alright, let's bring this back. If we manage to do any of these things, that'll be good. Otherworldly sounds I do want to kind of have a think about. So I think we want some strings, which we will get from these free Spitfire audio samples, although I think they're pretty rubbish. But my my string sounds that I paid for take an absolute age to load up in Contact on this computer, so I can't be fucked with that. We're also going to get some synth, and I'm tempted to use, let's load up one Reactor in a minute. Hopefully it won't take ages, but I do like this free synth of Surge XT, which has seen me make some fun stuff. It's got lots and lots of settings. I'm not the kind of person who messes around with a synth very effectively. Let's also get up the Reactor. So I won't necessarily be making a lot of things myself in there. I might be tweaking things. Let's get a few of those, because clearly we're going to need some level of thick synth texture. That's the classic Aurora way, and I was just going to have a look to see if we have anything vaguely on here that's sort of organy. If not, I might just record in a sort of organy sound from my actual keyboard next time. There's labs, and there could be something on labs, but I'm not gonna have a look now. Okay, I think that will probably do to be going on with. We can add some other stuff later. So how do we start this? Well, I don't know. I think probably I want to make a drum part for the chorus first. So what are we going to do with that? Let's just check all this audio is coming through. How am I going to do that? Make that put that over there. Yeah, seems to be coming through, no problem. Alright, great. Cancel, right. Okay. Oh, yeah, actually. We're going to do this track by track, just so that the drums are more controllable. So this is going to be the kick drum track, and we're going to have a snare track, and we're going to have a hi-hat track, and we'll probably keep it to... Oh wow, hang on, did I just duplicate loads of tracks? Or has something strange happened? Oh no, I think something strange has happened. Oh, okay, seems alright. Don't need those ones. Kick, snare, hi-hat, toms should be fine. Wow, I left a gap in them. Oh my gosh. It's never done this before. Come on, Cakewalk Sonar. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Alright, so yeah, so at bar 21, not bar 19, cheeky thing, we are going to try and make some level of beat. Okay. So I think at least starting with something where the kick drum is on every beat is, you know, it's that kind of club thing. This doesn't sound like a kick drum though. It sounds like a tom. Okay, that's more like a kick. Yeah, let's just go for that one, B2. So that's just going kick, 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 kick. No problems there. And then, so this is going to vaguely be like the finished one. So maybe let's just put snare on the backbeats for now. Yeah. So, oh, hang on. That's across. Okay, so it's nothing too complicated on the snare. I mean, really, drums aren't the most important thing going on in Aurora's music anyway, but it's worth getting them in so we sort of know what's going to be happening. Hi-hat wise, be closed, and we can probably afford to play with a slightly more complicated rhythm with this. So how about we go for something like semiquavers, something like this. Okay, we've gone over the bar line. I'll probably get rid of those last two then, just for now. Okay, I think let's get some toms into the main thing too. So I think I've been inspired by listening to Giving Into the Love just before this. These want to be quite distorted sounding, but we'll put them in as normal for now. Something like that. What does this sound like? It's not bad. Yeah, I think we probably want this just after that snare. Maybe with another one. Yeah, and then these probably just two. Maybe the higher two. No, maybe, yeah, that could work. Yeah, probably we need the hi-hat on that missing one that I didn't put it in on. There. Okay. Oh, yeah, like that one. Yeah, that's... Gosh. Don't do this to me. No. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty fun. Okay. Why not? Let's put the distortion on now. Okay. Yeah, not so familiar with these, but I've got a lot of M. I don't know if it's M audio or what, but they have a load of free things. They're sort of like freemium, so if you wanted, you could pay to make them more exciting. But yeah, what should we use? Saturator? Saturator, not strictly distortion in the simplest version of the term. Let's just make a loop. Oh, come on now. Be here all night. Okay. Turn them on loop. Okay. Alright, so yeah, so many different things going on here that I don't know about. So we're just going to have some fun with it. That's definitely making them quieter, isn't it? Aha. There we go. That's fun. Maybe a little hard. That's pretty fun. I think that the hi-hat is just not giving the right feel, which is strange. Like, maybe we just need more constancy of it. It doesn't quite feel right. That's a curious one. Maybe it's too... it's not tinny enough. Let's get an EQ on this guy. Bring up those nasty frequencies. But it's not really about the exact top, is it? It's about that horrible 5K, 6K kind of area, isn't it? Yeah, that's the stuff. Like that. How did our audio engine drop out? Yeah, no, it's not quite working for me. It's yeah. Let's just Not quite the right feel to it. Let's take out those and see. That's fun with the empty space, but I think probably need to put the kick in that empty space. Oh, I see what I've done. How ridiculous. Right, let's get some extra kicks in as well. You silly sod. Wow. Let's put that in. Nope, that doesn't quite work. Maybe 2 straight away. I do like that better. Maybe with a few more of those semi-graver ones. Yeah, that has more to it. I don't think it necessarily sounds very Aurora, but it'll certainly do. So fine. Sorry, the stream dropped just for a moment there. Okay, and let's just make sure that all these sections are the same length, so that we have something to copy and paste. Okay. I think that's now on this, not quite it. Oh no, it's changed it. Good. Oh well, that'll do for there then. So what do we want then before that? Why not let's just have the kick drum in the previous section. Yeah, I'm just gonna drag them. Hopefully with a little more finesse than this. I could definitely copy and paste, and that might save some time. But I'm going to do it this way today. Okay, something like that. Okay. And I think probably we won't want all of that for chorus 1 anyway. I don't know. I'm losing confidence in all my decisions. We'll see. Let's think about a synth sound then. In fact, before we've got anything loaded up, I'll just try and write in something in the intro. Are you gonna give me piano roll? Wow. Yeah. That's probably not what we want, but it was nice of it to be so there. So it's definitely going to be clear when it's playing. Another loop. Let's just try out some different things. Initial saw, yeah, not what we're looking for. So, probably some kind of lead. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. What's quirp? It's not really appropriate, is it? I think leads might be too much of the dancehall scene. What in the world could baritonus saxus be? I'm not mad at it. It's definitely not the main thing, but it could definitely give us something later on. So we'll keep that one. Baritonus saxus. Okay, and we'll move this little thing if we can. It's so small. Let's make it bigger. God damn it. Move it down to the next track. Try something out on this track. Let's leave out percussion for now. My goodness. So many. Let's get a pad on. Definitely need some level of pad. We could have a choir pad, I suppose. Well, that doesn't sound much like a choir at all. Does it sound like something we would get in an Aurora song? Let's make this just a little bit longer. Let's maybe make it a chord. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Sad. It's quite a nice sound. Now that has the sort of watery sound. I think that's quite a nice one. Yeah, let's keep that. I don't know how it gets the name ringing, because to me that doesn't sound anything like ringing. But I think we can definitely keep that one. Still looking for a lead then. So how about on this one? Now we should probably change it from, let's, yeah, ooh. Not nice. Sorry. Let's change it to more of a lead. Well, it's gone for initial square. I think that's a little too much of the old ways in there. Splits. I don't know what this could be. Well, it's certainly a strong lead, but it's yeah, something more what, Stranger Things-esque, I suppose. Speaking of which, damn aliens. It's tempting, but it's a little too out there, I think. That's great though. Polysynths. What are polysynths? Yeah, it's not quite it. Who would have thought there was such a specific thing to the synthesizers that Aurora uses? Shenanigans. You know, if we put it through a lot of sequencing, I'm sure that would sound okay. But let's keep going. Maybe a certain kind, but we're not going to have it. Messy. That's too generic. I think these polysynths are the way to go though. Good one to start with. I think I'm maybe getting influenced by the Phrygian nature of what I've written. Yeah, these are not giving what I'm looking for, sadly. You know, that with the ringing one, that might be quite an intoxicating one combination. But it's getting rather dark, and I know Aurora has a dark side, but that is not actually what I thought we were going to be having a look at. So that, it's quite nice in the distortion. The distortion feels more or less right, but the soreness of it is not quite. Maybe we'll come back to that one. Interesting. So many different sounds. Step portamento. That's just crazy. Let's go into some of these random third-party ones. Pads, no leads. Normal lead. Well, that's powerful. Cool one, but not quite what we're looking for. Organs. Hey, hold on a moment. Air. Well, that sounds more like a normal organ. Let's keep going with organs. Have we got organs in the main section? No. Chick 1. Yeah, these sound actually too much like a real organ. That actually could be a goer. That Chick 2. What's church like? No, I think let's go with Chick 2. Okay. Org. Chick 2 org. That'll do for now. Okay, let's load our reactor. Hopefully it'll do it nice and fast for us. What would I like to do? Oh my goodness, have I not actually used this before? Yeah, let's play with the reactor instruments, I suppose. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's get that thing down here. Yeah, reactor is definitely something slightly more amazing. More amazing. Definitely loads more potential there. I'm just not capable of dealing with that. Artie Monk, what? It's amazing, but no. Let's keep going. Argon drops. Well, that's really good. I don't know if I'll ever be in control of it, but that sounds very, very appropriate. Let's keep that one. This is the part of the process I approach with much less familiarity, just in case you're aware. Not in case it's not obvious. A lead. We do still need kind of a lead. I'm thinking something more like fathom. I'm unnerved by the movingness of this as well. Well, that's unbelievably generic. I'm so shocked at how generic that was. Dunk. That's very funny, but not quite it. Not quite it. Goodness, yeah. No idea what is going on with this image. Nope, too boring. You know, that's actually kind of what I'm looking for. No, in fact, we're going for descent. And that's our lead. Okay, and we've got one more to fiddle around with, so why not let's find something on that. Another pad maybe, or maybe some keys. Finger abraxas. And nope, too cold, too spooky. Nope. Hollow Tinkle. That is a horrible name too. No. Oh, I like the massive reverb on it. That's definitely putting it in the category. But yeah, maybe just for something in the background that might be nice. Okay. Oh yeah, the fun thing about this is that it's not going to sound anything like Aurora until we have some vocals, which are going to be me, and therefore they're not going to sound like Aurora either. I'm losing faith in my plan, but nonetheless, this is what we're doing. Okay, hate that. Over this intro then. Major or minor? Major or minor? Minor is close to Dorian. Let's go for something which is vaguely Dorian. Right. Let's get the. Should we start on the ringing? Yeah, surely. And that felt quite nice. So maybe we just keep that note going for a while, actually. Or maybe it goes down the octave in the next bar. That's quite fun. So it sort of sounds like the beginning of Winter Bird in a very straightforward way. Yeah, I don't know. That'll do for now, but we definitely want that emerging. Maybe this continues on, actually. Yeah, that's given it a slightly less predictable sound. Maybe that is not quite as long as the other one. Same with that. Yeah, no, annoyingly there is like a really matching oscillation going on here. Can I work out where that is on here? I mean, it's probably this, I would guess. What I really want to do is unseat it from the beat, because it's just too close to the beat. There's just so many bleeding things on here. Does anything switch as I play it? No. Okay, never mind. How about we change what's that going to do? I have no idea. Sounds interesting, but yeah, not quite what I was trying to do. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, is it maybe this? Ooh. It's not, but that is also making a nicer, more interesting sound. Filter 1, filter 2. What do we got here? Sequence 1. Yeah? No. Rate. This is going, yeah, it's for the LFO, isn't it? Is it still happening in the same places? Let's just check that. Yeah, it is. I don't know. Is that super important, really? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Does not really matter. Maybe let's change that rate too. I don't know, it's pretty fun. One thing we should definitely do is put a band pass on it to start with, but we'll keep that going into maybe more of an atmospheric start. Could do with a big reverb, couldn't it, as well? Let's give a good reverb. Big. So I'm very proud of my Valhalla Supermassive reverb, and we probably want something like Large Magellanic Cloud here, don't we? Okay, good, clear. Probably a bit more warping. Yeah, maybe slightly less of the mix. Bit more feedback. Okay, yeah, getting a bit of hiss there now. It's quite nice. Okay. Yes, and clear, and clear. Always remember to clear. Good. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Doesn't necessarily sound very Aurora at the moment, but I think that's a sort of nice way to get into the verse. So that puts us in C minor, or C Dorian. That should probably continue into the pre-chorus. Let's just see how it sits with the percussion. Kind of interesting. Initially I was well off it, but I think that's partly because the kick is very much not like how we want it. We want some heavy EQ on the kick. Let's just make another loop. Maybe just that much, or that much, and let's see what we can do with this. Oh. Okay, it's coming up. Oh, wait. Ah, you can't see my extra plugins when I'm opening up the equalizer. Ah, okay, I'm gonna have to think about that for next time. But let it be known. Actually, yeah, I guess I can do this look, can't I? Then I just need to be over here. That should work. Okay. So obviously we want that bass hit, but really we don't need to change. We don't need to change that low stuff, except yeah, to make up for. That's quite fun, isn't it? Because it's so muted that it comes as part of the atmosphere. Yeah, it's a little strange. I think we are going to have to start with, sadly, I think we're going to have to start with a more regular kick. So maybe take out that one. Yeah, so that's just gonna make it feel slightly stronger tempo wise to begin with, because with that big reverb and the sort of rhythmic offness of the synth, it doesn't quite feel right. Okay. Yeah, I think that should work better. Okay. And then yeah, we're going into, yeah, that's gonna feel weird, but I think we can make it work. So this is begging, I think, for some strings. Maybe they'll come in halfway through the verse. We haven't set up the strings yet. Do we want to? I'm just going to write them all as cello to begin with, I think, just because cello has the range, and I can't be bothered making a part for all of them at the moment. So we want to start this at bar 9. Yeah. Low. And to the F, because we want to emphasize this Dorian, so we're going to have a lot of the F chord, F major. There's the viola note and the violin note. Yeah, low G. This might be too fast a change, really. Are we going to keep that the same? C? I suppose we are. Let's see how that goes. Actually, feels a little fast for me. So maybe this comes in the pre-chorus, and then we take longer over each of the chord changes. What have you done? What have you done? Why would you do this to me? Anyway, not super important. Let's just move this. Why have you I've been wondering why it's been doing this, and I haven't come to a conclusion yet. But regardless, we're gonna start over here, and we're gonna have that for 2 bars before we then go up to the F. Sort of like the chorus texture of Apple Tree in some ways, definitely not in others. And we can, I guess, just hold that the whole way through. And then we want, yeah, it was G to A, wasn't it? How about we hold the G a little longer, and then we go up to the A a little later. That'll be fun. Maybe we come back quickly though. How's that? How's that? That's quite long now. So you could potentially imagine over the top of that. Da 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 da. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we need to go to the A just a little bit earlier, but I think it's effective. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit grandiose. Why not? Let's apply that that EQ to this. We just think we just want to take out the top end of it, just a little bit. So let's get one of those, and we'll just do something like that. We want it before in the queue. I think that sounds, yeah, more like what we want. Oh, and actually that transition wasn't half bad, was it? Let's hear that again. It's very, very grandiose. Yeah, that's quite fun actually. I think we probably do need another drum part though, because we need these sounds, don't we? Now that's going to be made on a drum part, but we shan't hear the actual drum part. I think we'll hear the reverb of it, which will be on a different track. So just before the chorus, come on, yeah, where's that? That will do for now. Okay, and we're going to send that in fact, do we? Let's send it. So output is going to be a new stereo bus D, my favorite of the buses. Where am I going now again? I know we can get it up. I think it's Control B. Nope. Ah, rubbish. I've forgotten what it is. Maybe actually just like Shift B. Yes, there we go. Nice one. So there's bus D. Now we're going to put a big old reverb on that boy. But I think probably actually it should be something slightly more controllable than the Valhalla. I have a really nice one called Spacer. Ben Jordan. That's my version of Beato. But I think it's, I don't know why I'm struggling so hard to find the word reverb. There we go. Let's try with just the charm verb to begin with. Now we want all wet. We want a big size. And a fairly long length, but nothing crazy. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, that's just too much like a real thing though, isn't it? What if we make it super long? We're just losing the beginning really. Let's low cut. Okay. We could add a little pre-delay, but that's not the biggest issue really, because in fact it's, you know, we just don't want it starting on the beat. What about widening? I don't know what widening means. It's just not quite powerful enough, I think, this. So let's switch it out. Let's remove that and add the convolution reverb that was there. Convolution easy. Oh my, okay. Alright, well, we probably want a big old place. Chambers. Large chamber. Let's go for it. Is that working? I can't tell. That's no better. Widening. Well, that just made it louder. No widening? Mono. And it's full on wet. So we are just getting the sound of the chamber, really, aren't we? That was weird. Very weird. Yeah, this isn't working how I want it to work. Rhythmic, why not? Let's try a rhythmic one. That might make some difference. Gosh, that was not what I was expecting. Would a... This is disappointing. Let's go for one of the other ones then. Let's try spacer. Okay, this is a powerful enough one. Oh, it does show up. Oh yeah, because I changed the view. I remember now. Okay, this is powerful enough that I don't really know what's going on, but let's give Along School Corridor, and let's make that 100% of the mix, and let's see how this goes. Well, again, underwhelming, I would say. Let's make that 0% of the mix. Gosh, this is definitely keeping it significantly more low. It really doesn't sound. Let's make it massive, make it with a big decay. Yeah, okay, the audio is not liking this. It's too much of something. Why is it so much quieter as well? I really don't understand this one. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, well we've at least got the volume back. Well, that actually sounds pretty good, but now we need it to sort of ramp up, don't we? So maybe with some delays. Yeah, I suppose like Space Designer would actually be really useful for this, but never mind. How about if we make it a bit damper? Yeah. Okay, that's more like what we want, and then I think we want to put a delay before that. Spacer works as the delay too, does it? Jolly good. Which one's delay? Here we are, delay. Now let's put delay like that. That's one of the beautiful things about spacer. Okay, delay wants to be, oh, but this is a regular delay, it's not a programmable one. Well, we could give it a go. Let's see how that sounds by itself. Yeah, no, we want it actually to ramp up, so I kind of wanted a programmable one. Then again, we could actually do this at source, couldn't we? Because we could take this and then have several triggers of it. Sounds good. Okay, and then make a sort of velocity curve for these guys. Can we just do that like that? Why didn't it change the ones that weren't selected? I guess that I've answered my own question there. Something like that. Okay, that's actually great, but we want it a little earlier now because of how the delay is working with it. So let's hear that. Okay, tiny bit later, and then we're pretty much there. It could maybe be a bit brighter, couldn't it? So we'll work with the EQ on that one. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. I like the transition. Okay. So, what I'm imagining then so far, some kind of melody, well, comes in the second part. Probably out of nowhere, yeah, so I'll have a fade in on this. Yeah. I don't know, something here. And then yeah, we want quite a big textural change in this next half, I think. So I quite like these acoustic sounding drums actually. We're going to do something, we're going to do the slightly more sensible way of dealing with things that repeat now, and we're going to make these loop. Man, the hitboxes are just too... Oh no! Spoke too soon. The hitboxes are too small is what I was gonna say, and then instead the hitboxes went too big. So there we go. So now dragging these out, it will automatically loop them, which is nice, and we want that probably going all the way through the chorus. Okay. So let's change to some different sounds here then. What's this Baritonus Saxus again? It's a bit too high, isn't it? This is a bass sound, definitely. Boom, 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 boom. Simple enough. Oh, it's slightly flat. Can we change that? I think we should be able to. Can we just... Ooh. Oh, has that changed everything or just one? Yeah, let's not change the whole thing, which is fun. Ah, that kind of gives it a sort of honky feel to it. I like that. Dum dum dum. Yeah, okay. In isolation, it's not nice, is it? Yeah, let's try and change whatever other part is also making pitch then. Is it just number 2? Maybe number 3. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And they're not even perfectly matched. So they feel a little too high now. That's annoying. Let's move them back down. Back down to about 70. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, let's that should be fun. Yeah, and then we repeat the whole thing, but with that first one delayed. Nope. How do we repeat? Yeah, there we go. So then this is actually there, and we'll have another one. That's fun. That's fun. Can we do that down the octave as well? Don't know if that's gonna make it sound silly. Let's try it. So that makes it sound more 8-bit somehow. I'm not convinced. Let's leave it as is. So we're leaving ringing out in this section. Yeah, how about these argon drops? Actually, I feel the argon drops are so similar to this one that they should be somewhere else. But then again, we're sort of running out of things to use. Why not? Let's try chick 2. Oh wow, this sounds way weirder than I remember. Yeah. Doesn't even play the whole thing. Right. Oh gosh, it's so irregular. Yeah, I mean that's just too much for here. I think that could maybe come in the second verse. That's where I think that should come in. Let's try some argon drops instead. Yeah. That's more fun. I'm not in control of that crazy delay, but I like it. Gosh, yeah, no, that is nuts. Is there any way of stopping it? It's just going on forever. Clear, clear. Right. And then we'll go. In fact, I think it's really that bar that has that one. Okay, I need to clear it again. There must be a hotkey for this. It's ridiculous having to clear it every single time. Right, there we go. Okay. Why not? So we're now getting like a 5 chord and a 4 chord. I don't like the 5 at all. Yeah, let's just have it as a flat 7. Not sure about that either, but I was getting bored. Yeah. Okay. See, the thing about this one is each note is a fifth. It's not just do, but it's do and do at the same time. So if we have both of them, it does make the sound a whole lot more complicated. Right. Oh man, I think I've destroyed that. I think I've destroyed the delay. I don't know what I've done exactly, but it doesn't seem to be happening anymore. What have I done? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not there anymore, is it? I'm sorry, argon drops. Let's go back to. Okay, that's fun with the later one, because that means they don't just echo over themselves. Yeah, I don't know. It's not quite hitting for me. I quite like what we've got earlier. It doesn't feel fully Aurora, but there's definitely some melody could go over the top that would get it there. But then this section just feels a little too plinky plonky. It's maybe just because the argon drops are too loud, actually. So let's turn them down. We'll have to get this back up when we argon drops. Come on. Let's take it down a little bit. Let's go from there again. Maybe pan them. Yeah, okay, let's pan those over there and let's have another set in the other ear. And can we change the view? It's too big. That's more like it. So let's duplicate. And then this probably wants to be offset at least a little. Maybe we'll do another part for it actually. Oh, that's actually much better, isn't it? I think it does need some vision of its own though, this part. I think the first note is fine, and then that should be that one. That should be that one. I think so. They're sort of just reversing which note in which chord. Well, it doesn't work with that note though, so it might have to be that one. Is that in our key? What are we in? C minor, so yes, I suppose it is. What? It's a little too complicated rhythmically. Yeah, it's quite fun. It might just be my hearing, but I'm hearing stuff in the right is slightly too loud. Okay. So we've cared too much about this, but nonetheless, I guess it is our chorus. So let's take all that stuff then. Oh my goodness, the hitboxes. Let's take all that stuff, let's repeat it in the second half of the chorus. Maybe with a slight send off that's a different, you know, because Aurora, we haven't come to it yet, but Aurora actually quite likes shifting modality in songs. And so I think if we're gonna we should have yeah, just for that last one. Obviously those argon drops are not going to let us forget it in a hurry. That didn't work, did it? that working? Doesn't quite sound right. Yeah, the D would be right, but maybe that should be there. Maybe we do change the D to an E flat. That's fun. It's fun. It is very late in the day, but let's change that to one of those as well, and then maybe that can be that. Okay, then we've got our interlude, but I can't be bothered to work out exactly what's going on there. Oh, maybe it's just this with some with some of the other thing coming back in. That would be a straightforward thing for it to be. Let's copy and paste that onto the right track. Didn't I put a high note in here? Alright, never mind. Thought I did. That's no good. That's no good. But this is definitely something that should stay into the next section. Okay. Yeah, something like that. That's fun. Okay, and then, so from then on, we can have the drums, at least partly what we had before. Maybe we don't have the snare, but we have the kick and the toms carrying on. Yeah, that's definitely enough, isn't it? Yeah, and then this, we're going to have this from the previous verse. Why do you continually torture me? Okay, and then the thing about this verse is that it's going to have something comparable to this on it. But something which is keeping more to that C with the more minor tonality. It's not bad, well, you know, at the end of the day we're just changing one note of it, but it seems to have the right kind of feel. Okay, then that's where again we want the strings to come in. But now those strings, we're going to have to cut them off. Oh, yeah, again, on the wrong track. Is this going to work with the same thing? Sometimes we could come down for this chorus. It's quite fun. We've got a slight mismatch of the tonalities there, of the modalities, and I quite enjoy that. Yeah, that's fine then. So how do we make then this second chorus a little bit thicker? So what could the melody be over this, out of interest anyway? Something like that. I don't know. I don't think that interlude works really hardly at all, which is a shame. Maybe it needs more strings actually. Yeah, they could do. Don't see why not. Why? Put them on the right track. Okay. And we're going to cut that, but we are going to make this slightly more elaborate moment in strings. So how about instead of the E flat there, we could have, yeah, the A flat. And then to the F, yeah. I don't like making stepwise movements like this with strings because they either get lost or they, yeah. That said, or they sound really naff. That said, it sort of sounds better that the string fades there than it continues on. That's a really loud C. I'm not sure I want that. Yeah, no, it's too naff. Let's just keep that held on. Give that a bit more reverb and it'll disappear better. Yeah, and then this is surprisingly dark. That's kind of fun. Yeah, so the drums dropping out here I think is quite nice. And then we could just have the end of the toms coming in, heralding the new section. along with our old faithful, who starts, yeah, at 7:20, just before here, I think. So that fade will come in, and we're just gonna chop the end off here, copy that for the end here. Is it there? That doesn't quite look right. Let's hear it. That's actually not bad, I think. Let's just check. Yeah, it's pretty much in the right place. So then, yeah, we're going into our second chorus. We definitely want everything from the chorus before. All of these guys. Why is that so long? Oh, I guess it's because I see why. All of these things, we want them in chorus 2. I hate it. It's the worst thing. But yeah, I think it's got to be with some extra strings, hasn't it? Here, even if this ringing drops off here. Let's get some strings in. What is going on here? Okay. I think 4 bars held for the strings. And then... Why are you repeating it up there? I don't know. That's weird. We just want really lugubrious, long held strings, I think. Got enough movement in this section. It'd be fun to have a major chord, maybe. Maybe with one of them moving. So this one would be the fun one to move because it's got that Dorian 6th. Yeah, okay. It does change the feeling of the section quite a lot. Oh, but this is the part where it changes in that to more minor. So really we should have that there and that there. Okay. Oh, that's actually quite nice without the third in there. And that is something Aurora does. I don't know if these are perfectly matched. Yeah, I don't know if that last bit works particularly well. That's fun. That's fun. And then is where we're going. Well, can we repeat the whole thing for the hook? Be nice to get it slightly more active, wouldn't it, for the hook? It's a little bit pedestrian. Yeah, these are just too loud now, so let's take the strings down altogether. Just maybe like 4 decibels. I don't know. You know, it might have made sense to do this with some sort of lyrical goal in mind, but we haven't. Just gonna have to make do with what we've got. Let's do it again. Oh my gosh. I'm tempted to bring in that chick 2 as well. I think something needs to change in the drums for this. I think maybe we need a more active hi-hat. What's going on with this hi-hat? So there it is now. I think, wow. Should we do an open hi-hat? No, I don't think so. How about we do go for the full semiquavers here. One of these is going to be pedal hi-hat and one's not. I don't really care. No, it's too much, isn't it? How about just the first one of those? Ah, goodness me. No, it's no good. And then the second one. bit too much, isn't it? Maybe if it's just a little bit louder. Is it already at velocity 120? No, well now it is, but take these ones down then, shall we? That has more to it. Maybe then with those there as well. Yeah, that's actually quite a lot more exciting. So let's make sure that the loop we get is based on that. Doesn't look like it's looping. Oh, but it maybe is. Yeah, those. Seems to let the. It seems to be that there's enough space between the argon drops doing the minor sixth and the major sixth that they clear in time. It's just the strings where that's not the case. Maybe the strings are giving it a bit too aggressively. I don't know. Well, we lost Baritonus saxus. That's part of the problem. Let's get that guy back in. Okay. Yeah, so we need something. Yeah, we've got the hi-hat intensifying in the hook. Let's just we're going to do some more things with vocals, aren't we? Obviously, can't just have the one vocal line anyway with Aurora. But let's just try adding some chick 2 in here. Let's see what we can do. That's pretty fun. Where is that? It's at bar 50, 51. Yeah, this actually, it does fit with the aesthetic. I think at the higher frequency it sounds a lot weirder. Maybe a rhythmic thing with this, I don't know if we can. Let's give it a go. Wow, that sounds crazy. No idea why. Doop, doop, doop. It's a classic Aksak rhythm here. That's quite fun. It's a little old video gamey. We haven't got anything in that mid-range though, so I'm tempted to shift this up. Yeah, I think that's fine. What would it be like up another octave? Yeah, I think it's fun. That's such a crazy noise. Let's just change that note so it's I think 4 different variations would be good. Yeah. Up there, I think. Let's see how that is. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah, and it's staying away. It's on the pentatonic notes, so it's staying away from that Dorian Aeolian fricassee. You know, friction. That's what I was aiming for as a word. Okay. I hope that you're getting slightly better audio than I'm getting on here, but I imagine you're not. Yeah, what am I doing? Okay, we're coming up to 2 hours. So I'm going to make an executive decision that everything sort of fades off in the bridge. We get some vocals. And then everything comes back heavy for the coda chorus. That's going to be both sections of this. Oh, wow, okay. Probably chop in there. Yes. So everything like that comes back in the coda chorus. Yeah, including this straight from the beginning. We haven't made use of those, have we? Do you think we can get ringing in here as well? I think we probably can. Who's worrying about mixing this? No one. Not me, certainly. Let's see how that is. Actually, yeah, that adds just exactly what it needs. Exactly what it needs. Really nice. Let's just try with these guys too. Maybe we could have that guy through the bridge, actually. Like that idea. But definitely here. Thompson symbol, isn't it? Yeah, that's fun. It actually is a really, really harsh metallic sound on its own, and that adds quite a lot. So let's get that in on several of the 720s for the cymbals. Yep. One more. Oh, not that one though. That one. Okay, lovely. And then yeah, we're in. I think if we could turn up the distortion on Chick 2, I would actually like that, but we'll save that for next time. Let's add in some Cosmos in the second half here. What does Cosmos sound like again? Ah yes, fine. So it's going for 2 bars on that note, and then it drops there for 2 more notes, and then it goes there, and then it goes there. Let's see. Oh, we're in the wrong place, as usual. Right. Very loud, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe we changed that last note a little earlier. We changed it to something else. It's nice how it's slightly offset. I think that's fun. And then it just hangs over the line. Okay. It's quite powerful. So then this descent, where are we going to use it? Could we use it in the first part of chorus 2? It's so bright. I think we might need to chop off the heaviest brightness of that. Yeah. In fact, could we get that in the pre-chorus? Something like that. Could do with like a let's unsnap for a moment so we can do one of these. Maybe we should have snapped. That was fun though. Maybe keep it there for a bit longer, and then we'll repeat the phrase. It's quite fun. It definitely needs a big reverb, actually, doesn't it? Let's put that on already. Let's go for a different one now. Cirrus major, longer pre-delay, strange long echo pattern, medium intensity. Fun. Okay, we need it to come in actually a bit earlier, don't we? Yeah, I'm not convinced by the cirrus major actually. Combination delay and high density reverb mode, where the density setting determines the level of reverb. Okay. Okay, that's kind of fun. I don't like how it suddenly ends though. Can we... might need a slightly different reverb on first. That's just gonna keep that going a bit longer. And we'll try the charm verb again. No, I don't know, beyond my expertise, but let's try it again. I don't mind it. Actually, is it going to work with one long held one? Because there was some changing going on. It shouldn't really. Let's cut that. Yeah, alright, well that sounds pretty good by itself. I think it should probably occur in the bridge, but I think we're gonna make a different version of it with a heavy EQ on that happens in the bridge. Oh, sorry. Funny, I thought this was going to be the lead. It's barely doing anything. Descent EQ, and the idea here is to take out a large proportion of that top range because it's really piercing. So in fact, should we see exactly where that's happening? Yeah, wow, super high. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, we should be back on snap though, shouldn't we, really? Let's try and snap that in. Is it snapping? I can't tell. Let's get another one over here. Oh, no, yeah, that's a bit too early, isn't it? Alright, well, I mean, this is definitely not perfect, but let's listen to what we've got and let's imagine some kind of melody over the top. I'm not even going to sing one. I'm just going to have a listen and see. I think this is fun. Probably a bit of fade to begin with there, so it's not just straight in, and then something here coming in. Okay, quite a sparse initial verse then, really just this whooshing noise and the probably just one vocal, and then as we get that kick drum. That's pretty fun, and the strings really giving us a little more grounding. And then the very different mood of this chorus. I'm thinking more Dance on the Moon, I guess, here. Yeah, not a great transition at the moment there. Might have to work on that. And then this is our second verse. A lot is riding on these melodies, but I think we can bring it together. That needs to fade in, I think. It's a fun sound though. Maybe it could continue further into the chorus. Yeah, a bit of reverb on the strings will definitely not go amiss. That's fun, isn't it? Just adding a lot more sort of bite to what's going on. We could do with a bit more heaviness in the low range though. It's a very 70s sounding synth noise, that. Yeah. Probably twice as long for the bridge would make some sense. It's a little strong to end with this, I think. And then there's some voices over this. Dee, 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 dee. And then by this point, it's just everything fading. And by the 4-minute mark, we should have finished. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that's, at the very least, relatively happy with the track. This is not the kind of music that I normally endeavour to make. So it's exciting in that kind of way to make it, it's got something to it. Whether or not it will end up sounding Aurora-esque is another matter. It's altogether not really important because while what we're doing on this in this deep dive series is looking very, very deep into what is happening musically in Aurora's music, there's always something ineffable there that is very, very impossible to define, and we're not in any way going to be able to emulate that no matter how hard we try. But what we can at least do is take elements that would be not seen amiss in Aurora's music and put them together to create some level of pastiche, and then we can add our own musicality, creativity, whatever it may be, into the mix to make something altogether different. And if this ends up being altogether different, at least it's still a new piece of music with some good influences. Alright, have a lovely night, day, whenever you may. It's a new rhyme, gosh, I'm very excited. And yeah, your life hopefully will not be filled with strife. Bye bye. See ya. Wouldn't wanna